Hello, I'm the 10-minute English teacher. Let's get you exam ready. Today we're thinking about an inspector calls, and we're going to be looking at the opening of the play, the stage notes in Act 1. Stage notes. Playwrights give producers and directors of plays instructions in the stage notes. Some playwrights have extensive stage notes and write a lot of them. So someone like Tennessee Williams will write pages and reams of stage notes to give the directors really clear instructions. This is where this goes. This is how this person stands, etc. This is the lighting and the colours. And some playwrights have very few stage notes. So if you're reading Shakespeare, there are very few stage notes in Shakespeare plays. J.B. Priestley does provide us with a range of stage notes to tell us where things should be and how people should act. So they give us details about things like props, body language, lighting, and also proxemics, where people should stand in relation to each other and where they should be on stage. And we call that mise en scène. So Priestley's stage notes provide us with important ideas about mise en scène. And it's important to study stage notes because they give us clues about the ideas of the writer and important information about characters. Act 1 of the play starts with stage notes that tell us about the staging and the setting and lighting, but also there are some interesting comments about the key characters to give us some important clues about what they're like. So the setting, it takes place, the play, in 1912 in the Burling's dining room. This is meant to be substantial and heavily comfortable, but not cosy and home-like. So there's an element of formality here that we're meant to recognise. The lighting should be pink and intimate until the inspector arrives, and then it should be brighter and harder. So this inspector arriving clearly signifies a big change in the mood and the atmosphere and tone of the play. The idea that it's brighter and harder lighting sort of puts the Burling family and their class under the spotlight. One of the props that's notable on the table are champagne glasses. So we're meant to know straight from the off, before even any lines have been spoken, that this is an affluent, wealthy family who are living in luxury. And we've got Burling. He's mentioned in the stage notes of Act 1 before he speaks and before we've heard any interactions between the characters. He is noted to be a rather portentous man, so he's quite self-important and pompous, but clearly quite a high-status character. The men are noted to be in tails and white ties, not dinner jackets. So this is a formal occasion, and that's meant to signify the fact that these are people with a lot of wealth and money. Mr. Burling is, however, rather provincial in his speech. So he's going to say lots of things in the play, and he seems to see himself as this worldly, wise, intelligent man with lots of experience. But the idea that his speech is rather provincial, sort of, and local in that sense, suggests that actually he's not a worldly wise man. He's had quite a simple life and has perhaps been very fortunate and lucky to be in the situation that he is in. We've got Mrs. Burling. The first impression that we get from her from the stage notes is of her as a rather cold woman. So she's not particularly fulfilled or happy. She's quite bitter and embittered. And she is her husband's social superior. So maybe the fact that she feels like she's married below her, she wishes her husband was a little bit more wealthy and a little bit more successful, might be the reason for her misery, because we see her as this quite unfulfilled woman straight from the off. We've got Gerald, who's their guest. He's about to marry Sheila. He's a well-bred young man about town, so somebody who's enjoying the finer things in life with money to spend. We've got Sheila, who is about to marry. She's rather pleased with life and rather excited. So somebody who's had very few worries in her life and has got lots to look forward to. That is interesting because it's going to make her the very opposite of Daisy Renton, who we'll come to find out about later from the inspector. Eric is the son of the Burlings and the brother to Sheila. He's not quite at ease, half shy, half assertive. So the idea that he's not quite at ease, he's not quite perhaps happy in his life. We don't quite know why that might be. He's not quite comfortable perhaps being a Burling and living this affluent, very comfortable lifestyle that his family enjoy. And Edna is significant because she is symbolic of the lower classes. She's a servant to the Burling family. And when the curtain comes up, we see Edna replacing champagne glasses with a decanter of port, a cigar box, and cigarettes. So she is there to provide the Burling family with their luxuries and serve them. It's quite interesting that the first line of the play is Mr. Burling speaking to Edna, and he says, "Giving us the port, Edna? That's right." So he's not thankful or gracious. He is being served by Edna, and she is there to serve him, just as the lower classes are as far as Burling's concerned. Their job is to serve him and to facilitate his affluent, comfortable lifestyle in a position of subservience. So he doesn't really show a great deal of respect for Edna, and she's certainly not considered an equal to the Burling family. She's there silently serving them. Okay, so now over to you. You need to make some notes on these key questions that relate to curtain up. That's another word for the opening of a play. The curtain goes up and the audience are faced with the setting and the actors on stage. So curtain up, the opening of Act 1. We've started to think about the stage notes today. So what are stage notes and why are they important for us to think about and study? What impressions does Priestley want us to have of the Burling home at the opening of Act 1? So what we see on stage, think about the mise en scène. How are we meant to feel about this family? So how does he communicate key messages through the mise en scène to the audience? And you might want to make some notes on how we feel about the key characters. Certainly Edna's presence on stage at the beginning is quite interesting, because if you think about us being the audience, the curtain goes up and what we see is the Burling family around the table being served by Edna. Okay, check out the other videos on my channel. I'll continue to add content. Feel free to ask for something you'd like to see me cover in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share, and keep revising.